Hi, everyone. I'm Terese Genecco, here for NightlifeExchange.com. I'm interviewing the fabulous Gregg Marx. Hi, Gregg. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm fabulous.
And you are in town here in New York City, performing at the Metropolitan Room.
Metropolitan Room, I am.
And how often do you get to New York?
Not nearly enough. When I moved out of New York, I promised myself I would come back at least once a year, and it's been 5 years. So
wow. All right. So you were due.
It's been a while. I was way overdue.
All right. And so where do you call home these days?
Los Angeles.
Has that always been the case?
Well, I lived there my whole life. Then I moved to New York for As the World Turns, and then I came back to LA.
As the World Turns. You may have recognized this face already from his television career.
It was quite a while ago. I don't know.
No, not that long ago. Come on.
It was 84 to 87.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Hey.
What have you been doing
I'm allowed
since?
to say that. A lot of voiceover work and working on the music.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So, were you always a singer?
I always wanted to be a singer, and I was always, it was the closest thing to my heart, and so I protected it. I was very, very reticent to take it out into the world, and finally I did, and the response was good, so I kept doing it.
Now, did you study any instruments when you were a kid?
I studied piano and was not very good about practicing, and my parents, we moved to a smaller house, and they said, if you're going to practice, we'll keep the piano. And I said, I'm not going to practice, and they didn't keep the piano, and I could kill them. And then I took clarinet and oboe. I taught myself guitar, and I didn't stick with any of them. The only thing I stuck with was the singing.
All right.
You don't have to lug around any other instrument. You're just there, you know. So yeah.
Exactly. Now, from the time that you grew up, do you do any of the music from that era, or are you focusing your attention on a different era?
Previous. I like all the old stuff. I like from the 30s, the 40s, and into modern day. But what I respond to almost on a cellular level is Cole Porter, for example, Irving Berlin, you know, all that era.
The Great American Songbook.
The Great American Songbook, for lack of a better term.
Right.
Yeah.
So is that what this show is about?
It is. Well, it's not the Great American Songbook. It is actually Cole Porter specifically. He's was just unbelievable genius to me. I just the lyrics are incredible. The music's incredible. He did it all. It's elegant and witty, and yet, as I say in the show, there's this undercurrent of real emotion that just gets you like right here. And meanwhile, you're being entertained. So it's the best of both worlds.
And who are your musicians on this show?
My musicians, David Snyder is my musical director. I don't know if you know him. Yeah. He's amazing.
Wonderful. Yes.
And the thing was that I worked with someone else in Los Angeles, and when I realized I was coming to New York, I thought, oh good, it's a chance to work with David, because he used to be out in LA. Barbara Merjan is our drummer, a lady drummer, which is fantastic, and she's amazing. John Arabagon is our reed player, and he's on sax, alto sax, tenor sax, clarinet, flute, anything that's nearby, kazoo. Not kazoo.
A Cole Porter show with kazoo.
Cole Porter on kazoo. That's interesting. I think that. And Dan Fabricator on the bass.
Wonderful.
And I remember their names. I'm so excited.
That is excellent.
These are people I just met. So it's like.
So you flew into town.
Yeah. And so we had a 3-hour rehearsal, but they're such crack musicians that they just.
That's the nice thing about New York, isn't it?
God.
We're spoiled here.
Spoiled, completely spoiled.
So what's coming up next for you?
Next, when I go back to LA, I have a monthly gig at a place called Maggiano's at the Grove, and work with piano and bass. Going back to do Catalina's Bar and Grill sometime in the fall. I initiated the Cole Porter show there. That's what brought it here. And hoping for the Raz Room in San Francisco.
Oh yeah, we love the Raz Room.
You're home. I've never been to the Raz Room, but I hear it's great.
It is. It's wonderful. It's one of the nicest, fanciest, sparkly rooms in the country.
Fancy, sparkly.
Yeah, great lights, great sound, great ambiance. You'll love it.
Well, I'm looking forward to it because I've heard a lot about it.
Good. All right. So when will we see you in New York again? Any ideas?
I'm hoping really soon. We'll see.
All right.
I'd like to
Do you have any TV work coming up?
No, I really kind of left that alone. I kind of said, I don't want to do that anymore.
That's in your past.
It's in my past. It could be in my future, but I'm really happy doing voiceovers and singing. I have to say.
Well, now, didn't you win an Emmy Award?
Yes.
Was it Daytime Emmy
It
Award?
was a Daytime Emmy Award.
For Outstanding Supporting Actor.
Yes.
And so you've got one more milestone ahead of you, I think.
With the Academy Award?
Yeah. That's right. That's what I'm going for.
All right. It'd be hard to do if I don't act anymore.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Can you really?
For best non-performance as an actor.
I know you love singing, but can you really give up acting?
I think so.
Really?
I remember I took a summer class with Stella Adler in New York not long before she passed away. And she would talk about how much if you did not have to be an actor, if you don't have to be an actor, you shouldn't be an actor.
Really?
And I remember sitting in the seats in the audience thinking, I don't have to do this. That's not how I feel about the singing. The singing, I always felt about the singing, even though I never did it professionally up till 12 years ago. I felt about the singing like everyone said you're supposed to feel about the acting.
That's very interesting.
Figure. Yeah, I don't know.
Now, you had famous parentage, didn't you? Coming from the acting world?
I had famous grandparentage. Grandparentage and great uncleage.
Tell the people about your
Marx
family.
Brothers, the Marx Brothers.
So that's not just a coincidence that your last name is Marx.
No. At least that's not what my mom told me. I mean, I remember in school, every time we'd start studying communism, they'd go, "Oh, Uncle Carl." I said, "No, Uncle Groucho."
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, I had a little comeback. But no, yeah, so those crazy
So which one
guys.
was your grandfather?
Gummo. I always love when he was on stage with them and then they went into film and he was kind of a shy man and he just said, I'm going to be an agent instead. So he and Zeppo, who was in a few of their movies, opened up an agency that represented the Marx Brothers and Barbara Stanwyck and people like that. But I always love it when people say, "Oh, you're related to the Marx Brothers? Which one?"
That's what everyone wants to know, but they're
Well,
brothers.
All of them, because they're brothers. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Well, because people that aren't in show
they're just
business.
making conversation,
Of course.
but yeah. So they were all my great uncles and my grandfather.
That's very cool. So did you get any sage tips, any advice?
No, because I wasn't planning to be a performer when they were still around. So I'd have to do that by seance, and I haven't been able to contact them yet. I was once told, and I don't know if I believe in this stuff or not, that by a psychic that specifically Harpo, is my spirit guide, and that whenever I'm performing in any capacity, he is right there. So whether it's true or not, it's kind of a nice thing to think about.
That is a nice thing. Yeah. Well, we all have a little guardian angel somewhere, don't we?
Exactly. If you got to have one, it might as well be somebody like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
Well, thank you for spending time with us.
My pleasure.
Thank you for coming to New York, bringing your
Absolutely.
beautiful voice along with you.
I was happy. I think I brought it with me.
Oh, I'm sure from the raves I've been hearing, you did just fine.
Everything, but I'm not sure.
Well, we really appreciate having you here, and
Thank you.
come back soon.
I would love to.
All right. That's Gregg Marx, everybody, for nightlifeexchange.com.
Thanks.